morning, ladies and gentlemen, all of our pirates and pirates. Welcome aboard here on the Rumboyz Fantasy Network. Make sure that, of course, you hit the like button. Fellas, can I get a thumbs up really quick? Can we all get a simultaneous thumbs up? Hit that like button. You see how all of us with the thumbs up? You got to make sure that that button looks like that. It's going to go from gray to blue. That's how you know that you got the damn mission done. Also, subscribe to the channel if you have not already. It'll go from saying subscribe to subscribed up. Alrighty? So make sure you go ahead and hit the subscribe button. And then also share our content. Share our content. Put it in your league chats. Probably don't put in your league chats that you're vying for a playoff spot in, but the ones that you're already out of contention, fuck it. Let it be. Put it on your Twitter, your Snapchat, your Instagram, your Facebook page, all of the above. All right. I don't care if you got to put on your Oculus and share it into the metaverse. Share the content, like it, subscribe. First things first. I just want to shout out our wonderful sponsors over at GLD Rum or GLDG Rum. I'm sorry, promo code GLDG Rum. Go ahead, utilize our promo code, copy and paste the link down in the description section. Take 30% off your order whenever you utilize our promo code. We got some deals running over there. We got some deals. Run up 50% off on watches, chains, Marvel pendants, NFL pendants, college sports. We got all your favorite college sports up there. You name it, we got it. Head on over there. Little superstition. We have not missed on a single Washington Commanders take since I've been iced out with the Commanders. I'm just saying. That's on record. You can go back and watch footage. Also, I want to shout out our Champions Round homies. Link is in the description. Go ahead, play Champions Round today. A $12 entry on our daily dozen. If you get 7 out of 12 props, am I correct, Jamie? 7 out of 12.
Yeah, 7. Yep.
You get 24 hundo. All right, 24 hundo. Get like me, get like Jamie, get like Taco, play Champions Round daily dozens. And then finally, I want to shout out to all 22 promo code Rumboyz. 40% off the subscription price, exclusive coaches films, player breakdowns, profiles, and much, much more from our homies over at Pro Football Focus and Monkey Knife Fight for all of your daily fantasy player prop needs. Promo code Rumboyz for 100% match on your very first deposit. Hopefully that allowed time for some questions to build in the chat. Before we do, oh yeah, you heard that? That's the sound of harmony. That's the sound of unity. It's the sound of peace. Cheers to me. Cheers to you, all the rum boys and girls. What it do, Dilly Billy.
What you drinking on?
I have a Christmas ale, and at some point I'm gonna take this last shot of rum.
Nice
Christmas ale.
Yeah, and that'll be my nightcap. Getting ready to head into exam day tomorrow.
So is Christmas ale like a mix of like gingerbread house and and candy cane mixed together with holiday cheer?
It's like this one. This one's a little bit lighter on the peppermint kind of taste. But there is one that I do get. It'll probably be out tomorrow. And I'll probably pop up with it on a show. And that one is super light.
Really?
You pop the top. It's a pop off, not a twist off. You pop it and you just smell Christmas. The aromas is just fucking insane.
The ones that I drink are more like cinnamon taste. And if you actually put cinnamon around the rim of the glass and drink it, it's awesome.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Eric up in the chat saying, "Yo, what's good, Eric?" He said he's a George Pickens enjoyer.
I feel like I'm a missionary beer drinker compared to you guys.
Huh?
I'm like a missionary beer drinker compared to you guys. I do Modelo, Corona.
You're the vanilla sex of drinking beer.
Yeah, exactly. I don't go too crazy. I might fuck with a flat top every now and then.
No whips and chains excite you, my friend.
Nah, we're not into that kind of shit. You fucked up.
You fucked up. Hey, you ever take a trip out to Colorado? We'll hit a couple of breweries. I already told Jamie. He's more than welcome to come and crash. Let's go ahead. Let's get into to it. Let's kind of begin striking up some conversation. Um, I guess we could start with like what are some of the dilemmas that I guess you guys as a panel are facing, or just I'll just let you guys go. Like that's usually what I do when Mike is here. By the way, shout out to Mike. He's at a Lakers game.
Nice.
All right, so I'll go first because I just want to piggyback what I said on Friday's show just to show you how interconnected everything is. Motherfucking Zay Jones. I don't know if you listened to me last week and picked him up before the rush, but right now he's already been up 23% in his roster rate. He's only 48% roster. Today is Wednesday. That means that waivers have been passed. Go get that guy. Go get him. In his last 3 games, he's 27, 14, 9. He's getting at least three. In the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games, he's had 3 games of double-digit targets. Okay, he's facing Detroit this week. This is a fucking another week that you're going to start using Zay Jones. Lastly, the guy that I've been sneakily picking up, Tevin Coleman. I was reading somewhere.
What?
Tevin Coleman. Hear me out here. There's no Elijah Mitchell. CMC is having a little bit of knee issues. And one of the beat reporters was saying, don't underestimate Shanahan's affinity toward Tevin Coleman. Right now, he's rostered in 1% of leagues. If you have a free spot available and you can take an upside shot, this is mainly for deeper leagues now. This is not in your 10-team leagues. This is not in your even sometimes 12-team leagues. But Tevin Coleman is someone that could be interesting if CMC's injury is a little bit more than they're letting on.
Okay, so in the presence of injury, when we were talking about deeper tier waiver wire ads, that I feel like that's when I could maybe have the Tevin Coleman conversation. But I mean, Mitchell has been looking very.
He's out.
Oh, he's out. He's out. That's right. I apologize.
Yep. And CMC has the knee issue now. So now you got 2 of them that might be out. He might work himself into lead back for weeks 15 and 16 just because.
Okay, your take, Jamie?
I do like that Zay Jones call, man. I've been playing him in a few leagues, like in my second flex spot. He's actually keeping me afloat in the Rumboyz Facebook Twitter league. But for some reason, I keep winning because it's Zay Jones is in my lineup.
For some reason, I keep winning because it's Zay Jones.
But
you keep winning because you're good at fantasy football, Jamie.
The what? But anyway, so what do you guys think about the Melvin Gordon signing at the Chiefs? Like, I know he probably won't play this week. They're going to keep him on the practice squad, but the following week he plays the Broncos, and it's a primetime game.
Of course it is. Yeah.
So, I dug some a little bit deep into there, and I noticed that Gordon usually only has, besides his rookie year, he only has like 1 to 4 fumbles each year, and then like 8 to 10 touchdowns, and he's at 2 touchdowns with 5 fumbles. So does that mean that he's already done fumbling for the rest of the year, and it's just rest of the year is going to be all touchdowns?
We've seen this before. Well, we've seen this before with guys like I mean, joking aside, right? Like we've seen this where a new location, all of a sudden, just like.
And I think he'll do well in there too. Like he'll get the goal line work. They're lacking it running back, man, with CH out.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, I think they faced the Broncos twice, week 14 and 16. So Mike actually brought it up yesterday. It's like, well, they probably signed him just to get intel on their offense.
I doubt it. I think what it is you're seeing Isaiah Pacheco, who's a rookie, who you really don't know what you're going to get. You have CEH, who hasn't delivered. You have Ronald Jones, who, let's face it, he couldn't beat out CEH. So you already know that they don't have much faith in him. When CEH went down, he's not seeing.
They didn't even try with Ronald Jones.
Yep. So there's clearly something there that they don't like. I mean, from back in the day, Bruce Arians had always had a problem with his pass protection. They don't like it. He fumbles a lot. I just don't see Ronald Jones being anything. So when you look at a team like the Chiefs, that's a Super Bowl contender. What are they missing? a legit running back that can get the tough yards that they need when Pat Mahomes is in a 3rd and 3 and they want to possibly use play action down the road. I need a guy that can give me those 3 yards on a consistent basis. That's what you're expecting out of Melvin Gordon. And Pacheco is starting to be inefficient, and he's a rookie, and now we're getting the winning season. I think that it gets messy for fantasy, but in real life, it's great for the Chiefs.
It's great. Yeah, I think it's great for the Chiefs, and I think that he turns it around with the Chiefs. You don't see the same Melvin Gordon. I think there was also a lot of mental issues that probably played into that with Denver, because that whole locker room seems like ready to turn on their quarterback. So I think there's a lot of that that needs to be taken into account. One of the guys I want to give a shout out to, potential for you to go ahead and roster and grab is JaMychal Hasty. He's got obviously, running back for Jacksonville. We don't know what's Etienne should be playing, but Hasty has been effective. Again, Taco touched on it playing against Detroit. I know that Aiden Hutchinson is a beast, and he can unleash it at any given time, but Detroit hasn't been up to par. I'd be willing to still play players against Detroit.
That feels like it's going to be a shootout kind of game. I just don't trust those defenses.
I don't trust either defense. I think you're right there. I think it'll be a shootout.
And shockingly, Trevor Lawrence has been effective in the passing game over the last couple of weeks. His completion rate is up. His touchdowns, like 6 touchdowns, no interceptions or something like that. He's not beating the world, but he ain't as terrible as we saw last year, which, again, to what Robbie's saying, gives an opportunity for the running back to actually come in and have some space to operate and get some of that tough yards. And depending on how Etienne's coming back, who's to say he's not going to get the goal line carries for Travis Etienne this week, and Hasty's are going to be the goal line back, which is, I think, might happen because in those short yardage situations, do you want to put a guy that has a knee injury into a big collision? Probably not.
Probably not.
Yeah, no. Hasty was getting targets too last week. I think he got like 4 or 5.
Yeah. Yeah, he got some action out the backfield. It was worked into the passing game. He's also a very physical runner. I mean, and that's something that, I know we don't talk about a whole lot because there's a lot of other things in terms of fantasy football that we look at in terms of stats. But when you have a guy who's a physical runner like Hasty who can break tackles, that's an extra yard or 2 that's working towards your point total. So if you're in like a desperate situation, and you're really needing that power flex play. If you don't have like a Rashad White that you're able to flex, or some of the other guys that we've already mentioned, I'm really digging that play there of JaMychal Hasty, Samaje Perine.
It'll be interesting to see what happened with Mixon's concussion because that's what's really going to play it. And actually, another player that I want to bring up, last week's fantasy darling, we all know Josh Jacobs went off. He went crazy. But he was a game-time decision because of a calf injury. During that game, during the final play, he tweaked his calf injury. They've been very secretive as far as coming out with updates. It is only Wednesday.
Matt, Dilly. Coach Watson, this is a team bus. He's a Texans fan.
Wait, Matt. No, I'm starting watching this week. I'm starting watching this week, bro. No, don't do that. The accusers need to be.
I'm not starting Watson this week. There's one reason I'm not starting Watson. It's because of the team that they're playing. They're playing Houston. Houston statistically are pretty good against the pass, but it's only because you just run all over the team and you're not going to pass the ball when you're up 3 touchdowns. So if the Browns are up by like 2-3 touchdowns, why would they even need to throw the ball?
No, there's no need to put that. I mean, no. Jamie brings up a very valid point. And also to Jamie's point, I'm not expecting them to come out and try and put it all on. There's one of 2 things that'll happen with Cleveland. They will either A, try and put it all on full display with Watson, But if that happens, and let's say that is productive, what Jamie is saying is true. You're gonna get that first half production out of Watson, and then they'll probably resort back to running the football. We also have to remember that running the football is one of the things that this Cleveland Browns offense does best. So to automatically just assume that, oh well, like Deshaun Watson's under center, we're just going to abandon the run. I don't think that. I don't think that that's viable.
Question for you, Robbie.
What's up?
If you get a new toy, do you play with your new toy, or do you go back to your old toys and say, well,
they're also they're trying to get playoffs.
You are right, and it will be more of a game manager role. I agree.
I know. I don't think that it'll be a game manager role. Like I don't think that it's going to be that. I think that it is. We're fighting for playoffs. Let's manage. We have him back. Let's manage his health. Let's go out and let's score points really fucking fast if we have the ability to. But what Jamie said is very, 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 very true.
Yeah, and you got to remember it's also an away game, and Cooper doesn't play that well on the road. I mean, besides when they played Buffalo, but you got to remember both teams were on the road that game. I think he put up like 30 points, 2 touchdowns. But besides that, he hasn't reached over 10 points when he played on the road.
I will say this though. Oh, let me switch off.
And we have to. The media is going to eat him alive, and I'm sure that we're going to fucking do it, depending on how he plays. But should he go out there and look rusty, I don't think that there's going to be a whole lot of slack cut for him. The organization obviously will. Fans are going to be ruthless. Like, and we need to, and that's something that you have to anticipate. Is like, you sat out for a fucking long time.
But remember this also. This is a revenge game. Watson is having those women, 10 of them that were there. They're going to be in the stands.
He's not having them there.
Well,
the opposing attorney,
other opposing team.
The opposing attorney.
And
the team has nothing to do with this. Don't report it correctly.
Right, you're right. The lawyer's having him in a press box or what is the press box? What is luxury box? Suite at the stadium for his return back to Houston, the place where he made his name, and they just destroyed his name. Now, I understand everything that you're saying, but it's this guy's new team. The team knows what's going on. I'm not saying he's going to beat the world, but 200 yards and 2 touchdowns for Deshaun Watson this week.
Hear me out. The best thing to do. I don't actually. This is a very interesting question. I don't know who the Browns QB coach is. I know that you did mention. He doesn't have.
Drew Petzing.
Huh?
Drew Petzing.
Drew Petzing. Okay. One of the things I do want to point out is everyone needs to be realistic and have a sense of reality when it comes to this. You're shaking your head, and I'm saying this because of you and how
I said 202 touchdowns. That's not crazy. 200 yards and 2 touchdowns.
I don't even know if I want to put a specific stat line on it. Like this is me more so like I guess as like a film head speaking. I have to see. I can't go out and on this show and be like, you're starting Deshaun Watson this week, like da, 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 da. Like I'm sure that there's some fucking YouTube channel that is doing that. And sure, if that person is right, cool, good on that person. I'm sure they're gonna fucking victory lap it. I'm not saying for you to start him. I'm not saying for you to not start him. I am saying wait and approach with fucking caution.
All right, so I got a quick rapid fire. Who would you rather start, Mike White or Deshaun Watson?
Mike White.
Yeah, I'd go Mike White.
Who would you rather start, Trevor Lawrence or Deshaun Watson?
I'm gonna.
Lawrence.
I'm
I got
gonna.
Lawrence over Watson.
I don't know what Watson's going to give me.
I mean, Lawrence has a matchup
but
versus
this is
Detroit.
week 13. This is week 13, and we have to keep it into
right.
perspective.
You're right.
The motherfuckers is fighting for the playoffs, bro.
You're right. But like I'm saying, Watson or Lawrence. Lawrence has a good matchup versus Detroit. You're probably starting Lawrence over Watson.
Yeah. Like the point being the point that I'm making is like it doesn't matter like who you throw out. Like
I would start Watson over Aaron Rodgers. That's a realistic decision I have to make.
I don't know if I would
injury.
be willing to take. I'd be willing to take the risk and see which Aaron Rodgers I get.
I don't know. He's hurting the ribs, right? Is that?
I get that. I
like the revenge game.
I get that. I have to. It is too close to the playoffs. Least is like Watson or Russ. Like I'm gonna. It's too
Watson.
close to. If you're starting Russ, then you're probably not in the playoffs. That's step one.
I started Russ 2 weeks ago.
Two.
Yeah, Russ is going against Baltimore. That's going to be tough.
Yeah, I'm still probably going to take that. Like this is one of those things. This is a wait and see. I need
this, Robbie. QB isn't as it normally is. QB's been floundering this year. People have been searching and looking. You got guys that have Fields. Now Fields is out. I'm not saying you can easily trust Watson, but there's going to be some tough decisions for people.
No, there's going to be tough decisions, and that's why I said I am not blaming you if you do start Watson. You're not going to hear me come at anyone for starting him.
Like I just looked it up, and the consensus has him at 11 this week. Below him would be Brady. I would start Brady over Watson. Carr, I'd start Carr over Watson. Jimmy G, I'd probably start over Watson. Cousins, tough matchup. I don't know about that one.
Have the Browns had a QB with this much hype come in before and fail?
Baker Mayfield?
Yeah, Baker had a lot of fucking hype.
Trust me, a lot of the quarterbacks were all hyped up.
Yeah, practically every fucking quarterback.
Johnny Manziel.
Even Brandon Whedon.
I don't even want to know what that says. Johnny Manziel, bro, the list fucking goes on, bro.
Derek Anderson. I mean, he was probably one of our better ones.
Not counting what he did. If we're talking just football, taking all the bullshit out of it, just football. Before he stopped playing, was he or was he not top 5 in the league?
Wait, who are we talking about?
Watson.
Oh, Watson? Yeah.
So,
yeah, he was top 5.
He was. This situation is different.
I agree. I'm saying take that out. Just
2 years ago,
but
now,
Rodgers top 5
days off too. But 700 days off. That can't help your skill.
Exactly. The almost damn near 2 years off. The fact that was with the Texans, and you were also great and got the wins that you got because a lot of that was raw talent that did that. You had
Fuller?
Huh?
The last season when he was there, when he only had Will Fuller, and he was basically making that shit on his happen.
Did I not just say that was raw talent?
Okay.
I literally
I mean, he's like, well, Fuller's okay.
You just repeated what I said. You just repeated what I said. Watson was successful because of.
I misunderstood. I thought you were speaking more like when Hopkins was there, not that last season with Fuller. I misunderstood.
I mean, but I like it's. I don't want anyone losing. I would much rather you win your fantasy week and you win with something that you know that you could have relied on. Like if you have a reliable option, go with it, or an option that you are more educated on. At this point, don't use his past 5 years on. You're utilizing that argument if you're like, yo, am I starting Perkins, or like you're using that if it's like this, if it's like Simeon or Watson, then at that point I'm like, all right, like you got to swing for the fucking fence, bro.
Like I said, personally, in a 14-teamer, I'm starting Watson over A-Rod. And it's not even a question for me. I'm willing to take that. Now, also, I have a stacked team. I got Kelsey, I got Barkley, I got Stevenson, I got AJ Brown, I got Amon St. Brown, I got Zay Jones. This is 14 teams at that. I'm deep. I can afford that risk. It's not like where I'm saying I need my QB to get me at least 15. Because there's a chance he can miss the 15.
Like, yeah, like if you're a 1 seed and you're like, oh, like I'm already locked in, like fuck it, I'm gonna fuck around. That's when you can play that. You know, but if you're like a fucking 6 seed right now, 7th, 8th, you're fighting to like jump someone like in the bracket and get in. Don't fuck around with the fuck arounds. Like Jamie said, hey, there's Brady, there's Carr. These guys are ready to be like, if you have any of these other guys.
But consensus has them at 11. That's a QB1.
That's
not me. That's the consensus.
But that's consensus. But the consensus is also so. How many times have you picked an underdog that you know for a fucking fact is going to win, and all of the rest of the money, the public goes this way?
Yeah,
it's the exact same thing.
Herrera. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm also looking at the start sit where they grade it A, B, C. He is at 11, but there's higher ratings. There's a B minus.
They're doing it based on his name. His rank is based on his name.
Russell Wilson will be a top 32 quarterback in a 32 team league challenge. No, he will not. Actually, no, he won't. Carson Wentz has passed for more touchdowns than Russell Wilson.
Wow.
I think he was trying to say he'd be QB 32, kind of in that one. But
Gator,
what's up, Gator?
What's happening, fellas? What's happening?
Well, that's good, brother.
Put in the work. Connor, what is good? Make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Pick one flex full PPR: Gabe Davis, Sutton, Rachaad White, Pirine, DPJ, Swift.
That's easy.
I was really about to like fire off and go Davis first, but like seeing Rachaad White there is just
that's what I was thinking.
I'll be honest with you.
Went to Rachaad White.
It's not even a question, White.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you this: Davis scares the shit out of me now that I've had Davis all season. He is the ultimate boom or bust. He'll hit you for 100 yards and 2 touchdowns, or he's getting 4 catches for 20 yards, and that's it. Too many times in my lineup, I've seen him just get that 7 points.
So for me, I'm biased on the 2. So Taco, you're saying White.
Yeah.
Jamie's saying
White.
Gator.
I'm gonna put it to you like this. And Jamie just saw the last show I was just on, and Rachaad White's my dude, man. Dude is not, in Tampa has not done anything as far as running the ball. They're running the ball about 65, 70 yards a game. Rachaad White has a 100-yard rushing game in Germany already. Last week he went 9 for 9 passing in the receiving game. Yeah, Leonard Fournette may be coming back, but this backfield is turning out to look like the Dallas backfield with Pollard and Zeke. You're going to get a ton of usage out of White. And you got to remember too, and I know we're talking redraft, but you got to remember that Lenny is playoff Lenny. He's not season-long Lenny.
Season-long Lenny. No.
Right?
No.
So give me Rachaad White every chance I can put him in my lineup. Every chance.
You know what athlete Leonard Fournette reminds me of?
Charles Barkley?
There's one. I was actually going to say Rasheed Wallace, Detroit Pistons Rasheed Wallace. That all of a sudden the playoffs are here. Now I have this dog in me.
Yes.
I mean, he added that dog in during Mouse in the past, but that's a different story.
I'll tell you this.
Shame.
It's fucked up. That's a fucked up joke.
Tom Brady loves those little check down passes, those little dump off passes, those screen passes. And that's what White does. And in PPR, what was the meta for the longest time? Pass catching running backs. Because 1, you're usually getting some sort of goal line work or red zone work. And 2, they can accumulate points fast. Those quick little, like Stevenson, get those 5-10 yard catches. You start piling 6 or 7 of them up. You're looking at 6 points in catches. And then you get 70 yards. That's another 7 points. You're talking about 13 points without a touchdown, and he just had 6 catches for 70 yards or something retarded like that. So that's the option that you're going to get out of Rachaad White.
And that includes 0 rushing yards.
Yeah, none. That's it. He doesn't even rush the ball.
Yeah.
Or get a touchdown.
Yeah, give me Rachaad White in that one.
Absolutely, absolutely. One thing that I want to shout out, like you guys, I am sick and tired of seeing this running back honestly available, and like we should not be seeing him available like at week 13 with playoff pushes, especially because not just us, but practically every fucking YouTube channel, every fantasy football radio show, every fucking fantasy football cable channel or TV show has told you the same thing. Stop sleeping on Brian Robinson. Like fucking for real, like this shit is stupid, bro. Like I should not be seeing the homie Kyle on fucking fantasy headliners mention to you guys that you should be drafting Brian Robinson. And their channel has significantly fucking bigger audience than us. So I know if their gigantic ass audience is making the mistake, I know that ours is too.
You know what's sick? I'm telling people to start looking at guys like fucking Tevin Coleman, 1% rostered, because I'm playing in leagues where it's like that's the kind of running backs I see on the waiver wire. Like if you see guys like Brian Robinson on the fucking waiver, you should have had him in your IR spot to start the year first.
If Brian Robinson's available in your league and you don't have him on your roster, I'm not even trying to be a dick, but you're fucking stupid.
Yeah, especially how much he gets talked about over here with the Washington Commanders fan right there.
Bro, but every single person that's ever pulled up to this channel has had a Brian Robinson take and has been like, yo, you need to get him. You need to get him.
Since the preseason, if he didn't get 57, he would have been there starting.
So he just went up to 73% rostered.
I was just pulling that up to find out where he's at right now. He's 73%, and that's still a shame.
Shame, right?
That's a starting running back. You have
the flex.
I was gonna say, you have on the average, you have what 4 positions you could put him in.
Yeah,
I mean the dude has smashed. To be quite honest, he's got 3 games out of the 7. 3 out of 1, 2, 3, 4. He's got 3 games out of the 7 that he didn't go 10 points or more, double digits, right? And in those, in the last game, I mean, you saw what he did against Atlanta. That's probably what his ceiling is that 20, 23 point game. That's probably his ceiling now.
I'm gonna say this, and I'm saying this because I know that a lot of you are viably in this motherfucking position. If I'm in a 2 QB 2 flex league, and my strategy is RB heavy, and if I have Derrick Henry, who I drafted early, and then I also have Jamal Williams, who I drafted, maybe a little bit later, but now he's my RB2, and technically right now he's ranking top 5 RBs, RB1, top 3 RBs overall. So if I got Derrick Henry, Jamal Williams, and in my 2 flex I got Rachaad White on my roster and Brian Robinson just so may happen to be available, I'd be rock hard and getting ready for my payday.
Here, I got a question for you. Are you starting Joe Mixon or Brian Robinson?
Joe Mixon.
I mean, I'm gonna start Mixon. So I really advise Robinson as a flex play. Just because of he's the quintessential perfect flex. Now, if you're talking about RB2s, I like him in an RB2 slot in terms of roster construction. I don't think that I would ever, put like even depending on matchup, I don't think I would ever put him over like a Mixon or a Chubb or a Henry or those guys are just a different class.
The one thing that does scare me about Robinson is just that with Gibson still there, and them kind of using him in that passing.
That's a 2-week-old take, bro.
No, that they use him in that passing type role. I'm not going to see enough passing volume out of Robinson to get him to that RB2.
But he's gonna get his. So
You're
I think
right, but that's why he's a flex and not an RB2.
there are certain players that irregardless of formats, they just point blank eat and they just get theirs.
I'm not saying no, but that's why he's a flex and not an RB2 to me. Because your upside is limited if you can't get like White is a much better play, in my opinion, than Robinson because he gets involved in the passing game for PPR. He has that safety net of getting a couple catches for a couple yards, and he still has that touchdown upside. Not saying Robinson is bad, but I'm saying I like a guy like White more than Robinson.
But last 2 weeks, White hasn't outranked Robinson. That's what I'm saying. Your take is 2 weeks old.
Okay, but here's why I asked about Mixon, because you take Mixon's 2 biggest games, you know, the 4 touchdown game, you take that out, and then you take out week 1 against Pittsburgh, and then they're roughly right about the same number.
Yeah, I knew that you were about to take in that direction. Fuck, I could have thought about that before you even said it.
That's why I brought up Mixon, because even right now, Mixon's sitting at RB11 or RB9, somewhere in that range, and he's 100% roster. But yet we're sitting here talking about Brian Robinson, who is not even 70, just now getting 70% rostered,
Yep.
So, I mean, you're talking about basically 2 of the same backs. And I know Taco brought up, the passing game with Gibson, but you saw what Washington did last week. Robinson was involved in the passing game.
Yeah, no, this is a true fact. I mean, and then also with that, I mean, when I can get Robinson's going to catch a body for me. Robinson has no problem getting yards after the tackle. Receivers get yards after the catch. He has no problem giving me that yards after the tackle. If someone's willing to put their shoulder through a motherfucker's face, I'm with it.
He has an interesting schedule, though, coming up. He has the Giants, a bye week, the Giants, the San Francisco 49ers, and then Cleveland.
Here's with a player like that, and this is what's great about fantasy football is you can almost embody some of your favorite football players in a way as a manager. With a player like that, I'm not worried because I know that he's not fucking worried.
Yeah, I would be a little worried because San Francisco's defense is solid when it comes to the run game. They're weak on the back end, so they're solid on the run game. We've seen what New York is against the run game. They're pretty damn solid against the run game, although they can't run it right now themselves. So that's going to be it. I see where Taco's going with the rest of the schedule. So that is going to be an interesting rest of the season for him.
But I mean, it's 5 week, which is awkward.
It's still, yeah. And then of course you got a bye coming up going into the playoffs or right when the playoffs begin, depending on how your league's set up. So that's going to be rough, but man, I still want Brian Robinson playing in my lineup.
No way he should be 74%. He's 74% rostered and he's up 6% in the last day. That's unfathomable to me.
That's because of one catch.
Mattress Mac needs to buy the Texans. You said Mattress Mac needs to buy the Texans. I fucking love that. Honestly, I think he's within the realms to qualify to be a at least a limited partner within an investment group. Hey, look, I have my exam tomorrow, and I just fucking knew that.
A limited partner in an investment group. I like it, man.
That's my boy Matt right there. Holla at you.
Hey, fellow Gators fan, a man of intelligence. Well, look, look, Gator. I love that you said that because you see, Matt has a premium there. Yeah, he has a premium logo next to his name. Of course, he's a man of intelligence.
That's right. That's how we roll, baby.
Yeah.
All day. Let's see here. What are some other things that we kind of want to touch on? We want to go through. We touched on Rashad. We touched on Robinson. We answered Connor's question, which was a great question.
How about another one of my 1% wonders?
Oh God.
Hey, listen, I'm pretty good with these low.
Are you working Friday night?
Friday no.
You're not gonna be here Friday?
Oh yeah, I'll be here.
Okay, I was about to say, if you're fucking working Friday night, don't drop too many hot takes in one night. Save some material for Friday.
I want to say this though because this is people are making their roster moves now and they're trying to like set themselves up. But one dude that, and I don't know if I'm gonna necessarily say like he's a must start for me or whatever, but the guy that I'm eyeing is Zacchaeus from the Falcons.
Oh, I love all of these Zacchaeus. There's potentially no Drake London and Pitts again.
1% rostered.
That offense is literally just Cordell Patterson. We broke down the film for you guys here on Sunday live while doing play-by-play. Mariota looked like dog shit. Jamie, I know that you weren't here on that broadcast, but what is your take on how the fuck Mariota looked on film last week?
Yeah, not good, man. Like with Patterson though, man, they haven't been using him in the passing game like they should. I couldn't even tell you. I think he had only one target.
Some shit like that. I think it was something like that.
But Zacchaeus, man, I was looking at one of my dynasty teams today, and I have him on one of my dynasty teams. I think he's in with the wide receiver 60th range. So, I mean, that's a if you have a 2 flex, 3 receiver league. I mean, that's a consideration right there.
Yep.
And if I'm in a 3 receiver league, I like him as a receiver 3.
Yeah, I mean, I thought about dropping him because I had to pick up a running back, but I was like, nope, keeping him. Found someone else to drop.
I have him in a dynasty league, and that dynasty roster that of which we speak of is actually on its way. It's undefeated currently, and it's on its way towards its second championship in a row. You know, so I'm loving this call. Actually, how have I not shouted him out on more episodes?
Now, Robbie, just remember, what's the number one thing as a fantasy footballer that you want to look for? What's the number one thing in a player that you're looking for?
That dog.
For me, it's opportunity. How much?
Okay, well, yeah, volume.
Are you going to get?
Volume, obviously,
exactly.
yeah.
Like snap share, see how much he's out there. Targets.
All these guys being out, it's like, okay, you may not be the best, but if you're going to get out there, and like you said, you have that dog, you're going to go get it. You have 8 targets last game, 5 receptions, 91 yards. You say everybody else is gone, but I'm still here. Get me the ball, and you show up and show out. That's a guy I want to roster because guess what? Maybe I don't start you this week, but nobody else is starting you versus me. And I can see what happens on this. Maybe this might be a role that we could use.
But on right there, what you just said, I want to make sure that we put a pin on that, and I want to make sure that we make a roundtable discussion about that. Thank you. You smart motherfucker. Fuck you. Give me a high five. 3, 2. I want to address this comment. The only thing,
what he's saying there is Florida State's better than Florida, and this year, okay.
I know. And the only thing in the fucking history of Florida State that is better is a man named Deion Sanders. Don't you ever be like, no. Look, maybe this year statistically and record and whatever, in the history of motherfucking college football, that's what they got.
What could be better than the 2007 Florida Gators? How many of them ended up in jail?
We
had God on our side and the devil.
Yep.
We had both of them.
Yo, how did that whole fucking teammate? How did that whole team end up either becoming prisoners or priests?
I don't know if he's a priest right now, but
well, I mean, Tebow's not. I don't think he's a pastor yet. I mean, I'm sure. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure he does. Yo, you know what Tim Tebow reminds me of? All right, Tim Tebow is a football version of the rapper Mace.
Oh, yeah.
Because Mace went from doing hip hop to being a pastor. That's Tim Tebow. He went from playing football. I mean, well, Tim Tebow always rode that line, but I'm just saying, yo, that's what I see. They're the same person.
And then go back to hip hop and do like.
Remember, Rob, you got to breathe, stretch, and shake. Breathe,
stretch.
I can't.
What did you say, Jamie?
Didn't he come back as a rapper and do like Christian rap?
No,
Yeah.
He came back and did regular rap. Like he came back and like
Christian
actually
and
rap.
regular. Yep.
Yeah, and then about like a month and a half ago, a couple weeks ago, he beefed with Diddy. It was pretty dope.
And that Breathe, Stretch, Shake song actually came off of his comeback album that after he was a pastor.
Yeah. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back.
You know what? All right. Do
Such a great
know
barbecue song.
Yep.
Do you know where that comes from? Because it didn't come from the rap album.
It came from fucking oh god.
Was it Welcome Back Cotter or something like that?
No.
Welcome Back Cotter.
Yeah. old
1970s, baby.
That's the kind of shit my dad would put on for you.
We are coming back.
Yeah.
The
Greatest
70s are back, baby.
Come on now. Come on now.
Wait, Matt, are you asking or are you saying Tebow? Oh, Tebow's the greatest call. Oh, he was saying, okay. I thought you were asking. My fault. Gang member and Priest on the same team. Yeah, bro. They was big. They was big steppers.
They had Rick Ross on the team saying the devil is a lie.
Oh,
and then you got Mace on the team.
You
have DMX on the team doing the prayer.
I'm listening I'm putting that song on my pre-exam playlist now that you just brought that up. I forgot how good that song, how motivational that song is. Damn, you're on fire tonight.
That's what I was saying. You know, we had God and the devil all on one team. I mean, and they worked together pretty damn well.
Hey, looking like the old school Notre Dame Cons and Convicts team.
Oh, that whole. Did you see that documentary? That was probably one of the best 30 for 30s. That was probably one of the best 30 for 30s. That Convicts versus Catholics was great.
Thanks for aging all of us with how old that documentary is. By the way, like all of us here, like I'm the youngest one here, believe it or not, and like y'all no one would ever know. Like honestly.
No, because you act like you're like 47, 48. I mean, 147.
You know, 2 years of deployment and almost 6 years in the fantasy football industry on air will do that shit to you.
Is that what you're gonna blame it on?
I blame it on the goose.
Jamie, what's your college football team?
Ohio State.
Ohio State. Is your college basketball team the same?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm from New York.
Speaking of college basketball, all right. So I have this TikTok project that I'm working on. You guys will all see it soon, like when editing and everything is done.
No, I won't. I'm too old for TikTok.
Don't worry.
I just now got an Instagram. What are you
talking about? Don't worry.
Put them on Instagram.
Don't worry. That's the next thing I was about to say. But I have this new project I'm working on, this new TikTok I'm working on. It'll be released probably this weekend, probably in the next couple of days, honestly. But it'll also be released on YouTube Shorts, so be on the lookout. And it's top five choke teams of all time.
Ooh.
But it's all sports. So I found out
San Diego Superchargers are on that list.
Oh, for sure, bro. when you gotta wait. When I do it, you'll be like, okay, like he definitely thought about this one. But when I found out today while researching, when I was looking for a college basketball team that I'm gonna throw on the list, I found out that did you know DeVry University has a basketball program?
Yeah.
DeVry?
Yeah.
The online?
Yeah, bro.
They had a New York campus originally, though. That team was based in New York, right?
No, the one that I'm talking about. So there was a campus in Atlanta. They had DeVry of Atlanta that went up against like some other team, and like the score was like 218 to like 114 or some shit like that. Biggest fucking blowout in the history of college, like crazy.
Jesus.
In 1993, which is weird because how the fuck were you teaching online courses back then?
You're right.
Dial up.
Different DeVry.
Floppy disk. They
AOL.
probably sent the floppy disk in the mail, and then.
Oh, that's where you had to send it back. Then they graded it and sent it back to you. That's where mail fraud started,
bro.
Getting the maze.
We're so old. What are we touched on Zacchaeus in the wide receiver range. What let's touch on a couple of more receivers here. What are some that are popping out whenever you guys are going through your roster construction this week, or what are some, whether it's dealing with your specific rosters, maybe it's a guy that's not on your roster. You're looking at like another competitor's roster. And you're like, you know what? I admire this guy's competitiveness. I see what they're doing. I'm gonna tell my YouTube followers about this. What's the guy that you just want the followers to think about?
Well, I think one that pops right away is Mac Hollis. I mean, I know he had a blow up game last week, over one catch. But with Darren Waller being out, Wallace has gotten a good bit of snaps. He may not be getting the targets on a regular, but kind of like what Taco was saying earlier, I want somebody that's going to have opportunity. And Mac Hollis is on the field, Yeah. So with Darren Waller being out,
and heavily targeted.
with Darren Waller being out and with Renfro being out, this dude is getting opportunity. You think about it. A couple years ago, you had the Zay Jones, you had these 40 these Raider wide receivers that are now getting movement and getting paid, going somewhere else because they got the opportunity. So and Mac Hollis could be that similar style player, could be a great a compliment to Adams if they get a Waller back. So keep an eye on what he's doing, because he's definitely getting the opportunity.
So I got someone. If you guys watched the Saturday or Sunday stream, there was a guy that burned me, and that was Elijah Moore. My opponent started him versus me last week with Mac White in this game, full well knowing. He had 2 catches, 64 yards, touchdown, big play capabilities. That's what Moore does. Now, you think that with Moore now starting to show it off, that the switching quarterback, is this going to be his opportunity to playing time?
1 second before I let you continue on Rondell Moore. Thoughts on Jameson Williams coming back? Again, you gotta wait.
I drafted him. He's been in my IR this whole time in like 2 leagues.
You gotta wait.
Right,
So
I was just gonna say. So here's the deal with J-Mo.
Before you go, Gator, because I know that you're gonna be my analytical to my psychology. So first, here's the psychology behind why I'm saying hold off. You're already in Taco's position, okay? You know how you've been waiting, all right? You've gotten so close right now, and I know that you've been antsy. Don't hurry up and just do that. Don't take the, what are you going to do with your new toy mentality, especially at the wide receiver position. Quarterback a little bit different. At the wide receiver position in fantasy football, because of the scoring structure, I want you to hold fast, give it a week, sit back, watch that game, watch it with the Rumboyz, and then we'll give an assessment the following week. Go ahead, Gator.
Yeah, so here's what I was going to say. So if you have a deep league, if you have a huge roster, go get him now, because you're going to be able to use him. But if you're
are you talking over 12 teams?
Yeah, no. I'm just saying 12 teams with a super long bench. There's some out there with 15-man benches. If you have a 15-man bench, go ahead and snag him up, because the opportunity that he's going to get, if he is healthy, is going to be prime, and he's going to be getting deep targets from one of the best deep throwers in the game. Not necessarily deep, not necessarily most untargeted, but he's definitely a deep thrower, and J-Mo is definitely a deep target. If you have a shorter bench, you cannot afford to cut somebody to go and get this guy for a question mark.
Let me piggyback on this. Since the beginning of the season, he's been on the reserve list. So if you have IR spots in your league, you do not have to waste a roster spot for holding him. You put him in your IR and you have him wait there. It's like an extension of your roster. It's like a taxi squad almost.
Yes and no.
If you get him before the week starts, once he's active, you can still keep your roster.
It depends on how your league is set up. Most leagues are set up to where you would, in order for you to bring him, acquire him onto your team.
Yeah.
You have to drop somebody.
You would have to drop somebody. And in which scenario, what you would have to do to clarify what Taco was saying, what you would have to do is you would drop someone, grab him, move him to your IR. As soon as that person is dropped, most leagues are built with the player when they're dropped goes on immediate waivers. You would then place an immediate waiver claim to get that player back onto your roster.
Or if you flip defenses and kickers, that's the perfect time to do it. So I'm like, if I don't care about my kicker and it's just like if I don't have Folk or Myers or someone like that, I'll say, let me drop my kicker, pick this guy up, put him on IR, then pick up another kicker. Usually I'll go for a guy that kicks on Monday just because I want a Monday night miracle shot. But pretty much,
Jamie, your thoughts. Don't let these motherfuckers speak over you. Interrupt, bro.
No, I'm just contemplating right now. I'm trying to think between DeMarcus Robinson and Devin Duvernay. Because someone just dropped Duvernay in one of my dynasty leagues.
But you already have Robinson.
No. In another league, I have both of them. So
wait, but this the one league that you're talking about, the
dynasty league, someone just dropped him today. I put a waiver claim in on him. I'm thinking like, why would someone drop Duvernay?
That's a drop due to one of two things: either A, lack of faith, or B, due to the strategy of which they are trying to play.
Like he's 80% owned.
So. That was probably it's either A, lack of faith in Duvernay, or B, whoever they acquired to drop him, they're going to have more faith in that person, or that was all that they could afford to drop in order to get the other person. With that being said and stated, fucking swoop in, bro.
When does Bateman come back? And does the guy have Bateman on his
roster? Bateman's out for the year.
For the year, right? Okay,
yeah.
Okay.
And then see what I was thinking, like ever since Bateman went out, like DeMarcus Robinson's the one that kind of stepped up.
DeMarcus Robinson is the one who stepped up when he came back. Duvernay gives you that random office upside of returning punts and shit too.
Yeah, I think they Duvernay is not being used in that offense for what Duvernay can be. Duvernay could be like a Debo style of player, that slash that he could run it out of the backfield, he could run jet sweeps, he can catch passes, that sort of thing. So it's kind of hard with Duvernay.
Physicality enough.
Well,
they do not use that man physicality at all.
Gus just got back. JK is coming back either this week or next week. So there's going to be some movement in that Baltimore offense anyway.
Yeah, they only throw between 25, 30 passes a game anyway. But you see DeMarcus Robinson sees like 8, 9 targets.
Yeah, here's what I'll say. Here's what I'll say about Duvernay. Duvernay is also less beat up than Robinson because Robinson got used up in KC. So from a dynasty standpoint, there's that. But then also from a dynasty standpoint, I'm about to probably piss all three of you off. And this is going to be like a super hot take. Like this is one that you screen record and you send to like fancy receipts, or like you send to like freezing cold takes. After further research, I don't think the Ravens retain Lamar Jackson.
I was telling you.
As a Browns fan, I kind of hope you're right.
He's going.
Mike, what's good? Why are you texting us while you're enjoying the game? You better post pictures of the game to your Twitter, bro. We need pictures.
Here's a hot take. Here's a hot take going off of what you just said. Tom Brady retires.
No, Tom Brady's going back to the Patriots.
Tom Brady's going to retire. Oh, and Mike,
Lamar,
record some little 30-second videos and shit, like a bunch of them, and we can make them into like a TikTok collage. Yeah, continue, bro. I'm sorry.
Lamar goes to Tampa. I'm just saying, what an offense that would be.
Here's the thing with that. Lamar is. You have to think about the mindset of the new age QB and these young guys. Lamar is coming in under the impression of, fuck that. I want to take a team and I want to do like my own thing with it, and like I want to, he's not gonna go. He's not gonna go to the Patriots. He's not gonna go to the fucking Bucks. He's not gonna.
Giants.
You don't think you don't think he
Giants.
wants a ring? You don't think he wants a ring?
He wants
The
a ring.
Giants.
He wants a ring, but hold on. Here's the thing. He wants a ring, but he also wants to.
The market.
He wants. He's thinking everything. Lamar's a big picture type of guy. This is the first time ever. This is the first time ever in the fucking history of the NFL, fellas, that we have seen a player be their own agent.
Yeah.
Do you realize what happens? Listen, we all know that he deserves the money. Do you realize what the fuck happens if he gets the money on the back end? He's going to get it. Do you realize what happens if he does? You have officially broken the system.
You keep using the word if. It's not an if.
It's win. Win.
Who? It's with who?
The if.
That's the question.
Hold on. Here's what makes it an if. If you do it by yourself without having an agent.
Right. And so that's another reason why I sit there and look at Tampa as a viable option because of the offense that's there, because he wants the ring, because they've got the money to do it.
But he might see that as the Kevin Durant move.
Who gives a damn when you're sitting there looking at multiple? Hey, shine
when
all
you come
these
to
rings
the
on
when
your
you
Kevin Durant.
When you come to New York,
that's what you have to worry about Duvernay's future. But you can always drop him. Look, what I'm saying, fellas. Look.
So Lamar can sit there and go, look, Tom did it once with this offense. I did it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
He's not gonna. No, Lamar's not gonna take that narrative. I could see Lamar looking at, like, I'm not gonna front. You said New York. I could see him looking at Washington. I could see that being a thing. I could see him looking at if he's gonna do the ring chase.
Spicy one.
If he's gonna do the ring chase thing, LA. What's up?
Detroit.
I could see that's spicy as fuck. I could
do have receivers though.
That's what I'm thinking.
They have low key stacked themselves up, and they're gonna have a top pick this year again.
What about that offensive line they've got stacked up too?
Yeah,
Penei Sewell.
You get another stud on defense in the next draft. And
watch out, and that's truly what they're missing. I mean, and you got DeAndre Swift, you got Jamal.
Yep.
You've got the receivers.
You just got another receiver Williams. Yeah. That's the one thing they haven't played with this toy yet.
And they got dollar bills, y'all too.
Yeah. I wasn't a huge fan of Duvernay, but what he's done in the NFL is exactly what I thought that he'd be useful for so far. And I can say that the way that he's done it has earned a lot of respect from me. Like what I said on his scouting report, and like you go back and you watch like that clip, like when we were going through like we were doing all that stuff. Like what I said on his scouting report and how I feel now is different. I'm not saying like he's a shit, but like I'd be willing to roster him, especially in Dynasty. Would you do Christian Watson and Amon for Justin Jefferson PPR? Probably not. Justin Jefferson's going to win you a ring, bro. Justin Jefferson will probably win you a ring by himself.
Okay. I want the Justin Jefferson side.
That's what I'm thinking. I think that's what he's talking about.
I think that's what he's asking. I think he's like, would you send Watson and Amon-Ra for Jets?
Oh,
yes,
I'm thinking someone offered him. I'm thinking someone 100%. Offered him Watson and Amon-Ra for Justin Jeff.
Like especially, I would do this in Dynasty and redraft.
Yep. Give me
100%.
Jets. 100%.
Yeah. Well, the only
if I'm the one getting Justin Jefferson, yes.
Yep.
The only way I don't do this is if I have a shallow team. Like if I have a team that's like
he just
he gets J-Jack. He gets J-Jack.
Yep.
But if I have a team that's deep already and I have a lot of players, hell yeah, you got to consolidate.
Antonio, you make sweet fucking love to that trade, okay?
Yeah. You right.
But after you subscribe to the channel, after you hit the like button and subscribe, you have to hit the like button and subscribe first, though.
Yeah, you do not make sweet love to that. You do not make sweet love to that trade. If that's what you're getting offered, you wham bam, thank you, ma'am, get the fuck out. I'm just saying.
You run before they wake up.
you don't even want to
Fucking
kiss or nothing. Get the hell out of that. Take that trade. Get out of there. There is no kiss. There's no wham bam. There is none of that. Make
I
sweet
love
love.
it.
No, I'm out.
I love it. I love it.
Man.
Um,
So here's another receiver that's only 11% owned right now. And if I told you he got 2 touchdowns the last 2 games, 6 targets, 3 targets, he's only 11% owned. He's played 70% of the snaps. Would you grab him up?
Yeah.
But it depends on who his quarterback and what team he's
Yeah.
playing.
Oh, it's a
Hey, listen. So
it's Richie James.
Richie
Yeah,
James.
Rich.
Because here's the thing: is I'm also going to be. We're getting into the playoffs, so I'm looking kind of like what Taco was looking at earlier. I'm also looking at what's the playoff schedule coming up. Because if you're only getting 3 targets, you're not truly helping me. If you're only catching 2 of those targets,
Playoff schedule
for
coming
20
up,
yards.
There's nobody left.
I mean, he had 13.8 points and 15 points, so top 20.
I think he got touchdowns.
Top 24. Yeah, touchdowns both games.
So unless I'm depleted, I'm not making that risk.
I wouldn't
make that risk. Like
if you have roster space. That's it. If you have roster space.
Yeah. I mean, I play in deep leagues. Like, so would you rather have Richie James or like someone like Goodwin?
I don't even remember what team Goodwin's playing for right now.
Or Marquise Goodwin, or Marquise Goodwin. Okay, so yeah, I'd be Richie James over Goodwin. Yeah, I'd be Richie James.
That's an opportunity play. Richie James is going to get more targets, I think, than Goodwin because he got 6 targets in his last game and 3 targets in the one before that.
But let's keep it like let's remember, like this is playoff season. It's playoff season. Like like that's got to be like a super deep league.
Yeah.
Yeah, in order to be considering that, yeah, fuck, that's super deep. In a super deep league, yeah, sure, fuck it. If I got like 8, 10
injuries,
huh?
Well, remember,
yeah.
The Giants have Slayton and what else at wide receiver? There's an opportunity here for him to essentially get a job and maybe run away with it. Now, I'm not saying you're going to run out and maybe start him tomorrow. But at the end of your bench, if you have a guy that's like kind of meh, and you see a guy like Richie James, that's a guy that I would spec hold on an upside play because of the potential.
I'm also thinking about the mindset of my league mates. If I know that nobody else is looking at that guy and going to grab him, like in a lot of leagues that I'm in, no one's really gunning for that target. You know what I mean? That's one of those targets where I don't care if another guy grabs him, but I'm not going to be in a rush to grab him, and I'm not dropping someone worthy.
Right. You don't drop someone worthy.
Yeah, So that's kind of where I am on that. Taco, you brought something up earlier. And I asked you to put a pin in it. Now I'm trying to like bring myself back to that point. And because I really wanted to bring it up on tonight. I think it was something around about keep away, playing keep away. There we go.
Yeah.
We talk about this every year on this channel. We talk about it at the importance of it at the beginning of the year, and we lightly brushed over it at the beginning of the year. But it's not exactly something, because it's not necessarily a technique. You're more so using the technique in the draft room than in this situation where it is now more pivotal and it is now more crucial. Okay. All of you in the chat are entering a stage in fantasy football to where it is completely acceptable to now begin to take the gloves the fuck off. If you are, and this conversation really reigns true for like seeds like 8 and up. A lot of leagues in today's day and age are 6-man playoffs. Even 4-man leagues, you can still take the conversation that we're about to have and just adjust the numbers to format your 4-man league. If you're fighting for a playoff spot, there is nothing wrong with fantasy football keep away. There's nothing wrong with you playing defense against the other competitors within your league to ensure that you win. And what we mean by this is grabbing pieces that you know 100% will help your opponent win. So, fellas, we'll get into it. Thoughts on this strategy? How have you utilized it before? How do you approach it? Just kind of getting into to really. I mean, it's an important conversation to have, and this is the time to really be having that conversation.
I use the strategy all the time, man. Like even this week, I picked up Mike White in the league. I didn't even need him. I think he's like my fourth quarterback. Not even going to play him. Another league, I'm playing against someone who has ETN and CMC, and I grabbed JaMychal Hasty, and I got him.
Nice.
But,
I like that.
I do that constantly.
And like, here's the thing about it. Like, while that is what you want to do, you cannot fuck yourself to do that. You're not going to drop someone that's worthy to do this. This is if you have that last spot in your roster that's kind of like in flux where you're trying to ride out a hot guy, trying to figure out what's going on. You still got that one position that you can play with where it's kind of on and off. You're not in love with the guy, but hey, let's see what he does this week and maybe we can keep going, and you're on a week-by-week basis. Those are the type of roster spots that you want to do moves like this with. You do not want to fuck yourself or let someone else get another player because you're trying to play keep away.
Yeah, like if you have someone like Eno Benjamin still on your roster, Kenneth Gainwell.
But another thing is, it's okay if you know, like with defenses, I don't like spending a waiver or a budget on the defense. But if I have an empty roster spot because I'm putting Mike Williams to the out from being available, I'm going to go look at the defense that I want next week. Or in my case, because I've clinched the playoffs and I'm on pace to clinching a bye, I'm going to look at the defense I want for week 16. I'm picking in my week 16 defense around now. I'm looking for a team that's facing Houston. That's what I'm hunting for. I'm hunting for a team that's going to be facing possibly the Bears. Okay. I'm looking for those type of matchups now if I know that I have a bye. If I have a bye and I have an open spot, or if I have an injured guy where, guess what? Now he's flipping back to injured. I have an empty spot. What do? Do I just let it stay there? Hell no, you don't. You go pick up that defense. You go pick up something else, even if it's for the next week, where it's like, I only need this defense for this week. Let me pick up next week's defense, and I'll just keep cycling them out based on my injured spots. So you got to really see what your roster is doing, what you can do based on your league settings. You need to fucking know your league settings. You need to know how to maximize it. You need to know how many IR spots. Do you have NA spots? Are you what does the process work if you do have a guy that comes back in Yahoo formats? If you have a guy that comes back, I don't necessarily have to make a move, but I just can't add anyone from the waiver wire. But if the night before he goes from IR to questionable and I put a waiver in, that waiver claim will go through without me having to make a roster move. So you got to know how your league works, because that's a little sneaky thing.
Know your algorithm.
Where they thought I was cheating. I'm like, I just followed the rules.
No, that is a good point. Every platform has its own algorithm, their own default algorithm. And then there's also ways that you can update, commissioner settings. So good point. I mean, if you haven't already, go back, relook over the commissioner setting. I don't give a fuck if the commissioner's your best fucking friend. Go back over, relook over the commissioner settings. Look over the app's default setting. Make sure you're all safe and good from that standpoint. And I like the streaming defenses option. I mean, of course, obviously, especially matchup dependent. Jamie,
going off the defense, man. I just want to go off the defense. If you want to grab someone, grab the Chiefs. They've been sneaky good the past few weeks. They played Denver twice in the next 3 weeks. So
I was thinking about that. I think I was gravitating towards Tennessee because I think they have Houston. If I remember because I have a co-manager and he actually brought this up because we get sick with it because we've been mapping it out. We're on a 7-game winning streak. We see that right now. We just moved up to the number 1 seed. It's a 14-team league. So
wait, time out. Because I was watching the stream the other night, and I didn't realize that co-manager that you were bouncing on the table was already giving you demands on what he wanted to do with the teams.
God willing, bro. God willing. That would be amazing. I can't wait for that day. I literally can't wait. I'm gonna make him a junkie from the day one. He's gonna be sitting
Yeah,
there.
he's
Already
his first words are gonna be Degen.
Rumboyz.
It's gonna be
Rumboyz will be second. But it's Degen first.
Yeah.
One last fun fact though, with the Chiefs playing the Broncos. The Broncos have the lowest scoring points.
Oh yeah.
Since the 2000 Cleveland Browns.
Yeah. That's a fact.
Insane.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
That makes Jamie's heart go dum 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 dum. Because now I'm not the worst team ever.
He's gonna spank one to that later. Oh yeah.
Come back and rewatch this part.
Fucking stats. Yes, Tim Couch.
Oh
wow,
man,
was available.
60. That was 64
Gator,
quarterbacks ago.
Your take on this strategy. Like I said, this is very, 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 very important. Like I think this is the most important conversation to have around this time of year.
Yeah, so I love this strategy. There's multiple ways to play it, in my opinion. You know, because if you do it pre-draft and during the draft, it's going to lead to one thing. But this time of year, going into the playoffs, you're not necessarily playing it to steal a player from somebody else, in the aspect of you need to know who the hell is playing in the playoffs, not who you're playing, but who the teams are playing in your week 15, in your week 16, in your week 17 playoffs, to go and steal that player now.
Yep.
Because you don't want to leave him out there.
Nope.
2 weeks from now for somebody that's okay. You don't even know if you're going to be there in week 17, right? At this point, but you want to go ahead and have that player on your bench for week 17 now, instead of making it and somebody else that's not making it going to have that player. So please look at who you are, not who you're playing, but look at who the teams are playing during your matchups for week 16, week 17. And let's go ahead and get those players on your rosters now.
Yep.
In order to win that championship.
Yeah, me, I'm more of a tit for tat. This is the time where a lot of leagues will, stop like interacting with their league mates at this point in time. No, like if you're in the playoffs, now's the time where I'm definitely probably a little bit more active like in the group chat. Like if I know I really got to get in your head, or like I might start tagging you in tweets, or I might start sending you Snapchats. Like this is the time where you wanna be in your opponent's head, and I say that to where by doing so, you can gain information on what players that they're looking at on the wire. There's no more trades. Trade deadline, bye. It's gone. It's gone.
Drop a GIF in the league chat. See who sees it. See who responds. You'll know who's around.
Exactly. This is the time where like if you spent this whole time, like if you're in the top 3, you already fucking have a target on your fucking back.
Yep.
If you spent this whole time making enemies, maybe it's now the time where you be a little toxic, and it's like, hey buddy, like Listen. I know you don't normally come over on Tuesdays, but like let's just talk. Guess what just so happens to be fucking Tuesdays, waiver wire fucking day. Let's come over and talk. Oh my wife is actually cooking tacos.
No. I'll supply the beer. That's just you and me get together. We'll sit out and have a couple beers. I got the beer.
Let's have a couple beers. Let's smoke a cigar too. Yep. Exactly. For real. Like this is the time where like I've literally been known to be like, hey bro, tea time's on me, man. Yo, let's go hit the course. Let's just go hit a couple of teas. Let's just talk. Yeah, man, like I'm completely
I hear
down.
I hear Maryland's got some nice courses too.
Maryland does have some dope courses. I had a league that I did back when I was in Cali. We had I took a homie out to the fucking driving range, and like we just got tore up like the whole fucking day, and I ended up figuring out. I was like, oh, I was like, all right, like I can't remember who it was, but I pulled somebody off the fucking waiver. I finessed the fuck out of it, and I knew what I was doing the whole time.
During the back nine, you're pulling waiver wire claims.
Exactly, bro. And I'm I'm putting them in like I'm taking like bathroom breaks. I'm like, oh, bro, yo, she's gonna bring the next bucket of beers, bro. Like it's all good. I'll be right back. And like I'm going to the bathroom, pulling out my phone.
Robbie, we're only on hole 3. Why do you need another bucket of beer? We're on hole 3.
Bro, have you not drank with my friends? Like fuck.
This is why we need to make like the reality league, like
exactly
just like that,
bro. Like for real. Like this is the time that take advantage of that. It's also a fun aspect of the game. If Brian Robinson's available in your league, and you know that someone is a fucking Commanders fan in your league, and they're about to go for him, like you need to go, like you need to beat them to the punch. This is all about beating them to the punch, but also at the same time, do not fuck yourself over. I get a lot of DMs, I get a lot of fucking DMs saying around this time of year, and this is every year, since 2018. Hey man, do I drop this person for this person? I'm trying to keep this person away. And I'm like, yeah, that's equitable, that makes sense. But then I get from that same person 3 more, and they're trying to readjust their whole thing. Get in, get out, be sneaky. Get in, get out, be sneaky.
That's kind of what I was saying is, as long as you're looking, at the playoff schedule of what's going to be happening, or you will be able to snag somebody before, some of these managers are sitting there going, what, only looking 1 week in advance.
Yeah.
If you're looking 2 and 3 weeks out, you can get the drop on them on some of these players.
Like I said, my week 16 defense is Tennessee. They're facing Houston. They right now are having massive drops because they're facing Philadelphia this week. So everyone is going to be off of them for this week. This is now your chance to go and snag them out and hold them on your roster for week 16.
If you can come away, if you can come away with and whenever you're making these moves, if you can come away with, you're likely not doing this to get starters. You're likely doing this, like Gator said, hey, I'm projecting a couple of weeks out, or maybe I'm doing this week to week to make sure that I'm keeping the hottest item off the market away from. So like it was mentioned by all of us, there's multiple ways to play it. Make sure you're gauging it.
I'll give you a prime example. So this time of year, most with the tight end landscape as it is streamable at best.
Yep.
Right? Dallas Goedert is supposed to be coming back week 15. That's in the middle of the playoffs. Whoever had him to start the year probably dropped him. So he's sitting there. Go get him now. It's week 13. Get him 2 weeks ahead of time.
Yep.
As Taco said, drop that extra kicker, drop the defense, come back and get a defense later. That dude is going to be a league winner when it comes down to it.
And look for people's careless mistakes.
Absolutely.
I'm not talking about it's like, okay, I could clearly tell that you did not mean to make that drop. Commissioner's going to come in and readjust that. Like, I'm not talking about like shit like that, but like if somebody is like, yo, I dropped, I got sick and tired of Mike Evans and I dropped him for Darius Slayton, then you need it, and they go and they don't fucking do anything. They don't try and pick him up. Like they're not, there's no hoobla about like, oh, I didn't mean to do. you need to be going in and you need to be making that move.
Gator,
Yeah.
thank you very much. Did not even realize that, so I just checked all my leagues. In the league where I'm just made first seed, where I just traded for Njoku because I'm desperate at tight end. This motherfucker was on the waiver wire.
Juwan Johnson, look out for Juwan Johnson. Juwan Johnson's
I guess
Got it,
Taco's
baby.
gonna be sending me a check in the mail when he wins that league.
Another tight end coming back, Bellinger, and they need pass catchers.
Yep.
Yeah, that's another one.
So, hey, that's about all the time that we have for tonight. Anybody else wanna last words, really quick? Go.
Warrior Nun is fucking fire. Just started watching that shit. Addicted.
Warrior Nun, Netflix.
Warrior Nun. Oh, I'm gonna start watching that.
It's fucking fire.
Okay.
Yeah.
Real quick, Scott Fishbowl. I'm second round of the playoffs.
Yes, you are.
Yep. So
My
proud.
hitter, my hitter.
So proud. I just picked up Mike White. So I'm debating between Tannehill and Mike White.
Mike
Oh, that's
White.
I'm actually
needs
going
to
Mike
be
White.
on.
He's
Mike
already
White needs to be on your bench.
Mike White on my bench.
Yes.
Not in my starting lineup.
No.
So you would play Tannehill over Mike White?
Damn sure. Yes.
Who are the
Absolutely.
Jets playing?
It doesn't matter.
Mike White has like this really sexy week.
Minnesota.
And then he comes out and does. It's a thing.
And
Yeah,
then,
Minnesota's pretty bad in the secondary.
and
All right,
then,
here's-
and then who is
Fuck
that?
that.
Tannehill's playing Philly.
Here's Mike White last year. He got the first start in week 8. 3 touchdowns, 405, 2 picks. Week 9, he only played 18% of the snaps in week 9 for some reason. 1 touchdown. In week 10, he played 92% of the snaps. 0 touchdowns, 4 picks. You start Mike White, you're on your own. You are completely on your own. I know he's got a better team. I know he's got a better team this year than he did last year. I get that. Whatever. Fine, dandy, whatever. Elijah Moore is somebody else. I am 100% sitting. I don't trust him. He's too diva. We've seen what divas do in this NFL. You can sit there and talk to the ball all you want to, but Mike White is throwing it to you. Mike White is not the dude. I'm not saying Zach Wilson is either, but Mike White is not the dude. We saw what he did last year in 3 games.
You added Garrett Wilson now, and the offensive line is better than it was before, and it's another year for him in that new offense because it was the first.
No. It's not another year for him. It's another year for the offense, not for Garrett Wilson.
If it wasn't Minnesota, I'd be fucking with it.
Minnesota's secondary hasn't been that good.
Okay,
no, they haven't been that good. But Mike White has this he'll do this thing where like great game.
He sucked everybody in last year. He's doing it again this year. Y'all go right ahead and ride that wave.
I mean,
I think that is happening. I think that is happening. Bro, when he looked at the camera out the corner of his eye and he gave that fucking look, I was like,
y'all forgot Tannehill fucks.
Yeah, Tannehill fucks. Tannehill's got me 4 of these motherfucking things, bro. Me and Tannehill been there and back multiple times.
Last season though was not a Tannehill season. I had him last season. He was bad.
Listen, Mike White's got to prove it.
The rest of your roster must have been bums.
Back-to-back games. He's got to do it back-to-back games.
If the rest of your roster is nice, Tannehill can be sustainable.
Absolutely, 100%.
Yeah.
All right.
But the rest of your roster's got to be nasty.
You could have Zach Wilson and make it through if the rest of your roster's nice.
Yeah, your roster's got to fuck. Gator, last words.
Man, listen, it's playoff time. It's coming right around the corner. Y'all pay attention to what people are dropping. Pay attention to what people are dropping because people are dropping things. They're dropping players on a 1-game deal. They're also picking up players on a 1-game deal. Mike White, for instance. And then they're turning around and dropping a Ryan Tannehill, who is a proven starter. Dude can play. We don't know what Mike White's going to be. Pay attention to what your waiver wire is. Pay attention to what people are dropping. Immediately put the claim in. Even if you have to drop somebody that is on the back end of your bench, pick the dude up. Like we were just talking about a minute ago, you're sniping from others.
Yep. If you've never started them the whole year and you're not going to start them, drop them and pick up someone else that's potentially, worthy of it, and just keep recycling. Only thing that I want to say is just guys, keep tuning in, keep sharing the content. We're here practically almost every day, five days out of the week. We got you covered. Fantasy football playoffs. Like this is the time to really be thinking about those dues that you put in and everyone else put in. Yeah, it's the time that you take that from everybody else. Take back what's yours and take what's everyone else's. We're here to help you the whole way. Stay tuned in. Links are in the description for all of our sponsors, so check them out. And yeah, cheers to me, cheers to you, all the Rumboyz and girls. What it do? Dilly dilly, we love and appreciate you. Rah! Rah, pa, pa.